Hello and welcome to today's demo about creating a Microsoft Access login screen that has complete functionality that functions the way a normal login screen is supposed to function, which is case sensitive credentials, the ability to discharge or clear the password after you log in, and finally, um, the ability to also deny access after three failed attempts. So this is a table login, table staff, where the information for all your staff are stored. So I want to direct your attention to this column at the far right, the status column. Right now, all of them are active, and for anybody to be able to log in, their status needs to be active. So we're going to use an update query to change this value to locked whenever anybody has up to three failed attempts. So this is the update query right here. So it's designed from our table staff. So first, this is the field you want to change. Is the status field from table staff, and this is what you want it to change to, which is the content of text status in form login. And this is this text status in form login. So whatever is in here, whatever value that is in here, that is what you want it to change to. And this is the criteria that you want it to use. So this criteria is whenever the value in text username is equal to the username that is in the system. And this is text username. So whenever they put in a username that is in the system and they have three failed attempts, this will change to a certain value, locked, and this locked will be passed here, and because it gets passed here, then that person will not be able to log in again until this status is changed back to active. So you could call this query from your subroutine, but the problem is that if you do so, you will get two messages that maybe you may not really appreciate. And to turn off those two messages, you need a macro to do that. And this is how you turn off those two messages is you take the set warning and change the warning to no. Warning's on, you want to change it to no. And this is here is where you can change it to yes or no. And then you can call the query from the macro, and then you can call the macro from your subroutine. That way, when it executes this query, you won't get any warning. So let's see how this will actually work. So first, I get the first user, somebody that has security level 1, and I'll say so I'm using this test box right here to track the attempts. Whenever that message comes in that either the username or the password is incorrect, I'm using this to track the attempts, how many times that message comes up. So right now it changed from 0 to 1. So let's still put in an incorrect username. This message came up. The moment I click OK, that changes to 2. So now I have one more attempt. Now let's put in an incorrect password. This time, when the count goes to 3, so this is the third and final attempt. Now it gives you a subsequent uh, message or an additional message for you to see your administrator. And the moment you do that, the status will change to locked and this will close out. So if you come back and you put in that username again, because the status is locked, the password will not be visible and your ability to click the login button is also denied. So the only thing that you can do is close out of the system or contact your manager and for them to change this status to active. So let's see what happens with somebody that their status is active. So so if that status is active, this thing will reappear. So for this person, let's go ahead and also have 3 failed attempts. I'm going to copy this because that's what I want to change the password to. Okay, so let's put in wrong password. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. And exactly the same thing happens. So now when you tell your manager to change your status so you can log back in, so your manager comes here. Now, so this one is for Department A. That's P green, one of them. You see the status is locked. So you come over here, you change it to active, and you reset the password to whatever default password that you have in your organization. In this case, it's welcome, all lowercase. And you're done for that person. And let's look at Augur. Augur is also locked, and you change it to active, and you do exactly the same thing. So now when these people log in with the welcome password, then what happens is the system will reroute them to change their password to something that is more private. So let's start with Augur. Now you see the password in the system is showing as welcome. So if you see their status are back to active, and for green, password is now welcome, and exactly the same thing for Augur. Password is now welcome. Now, when they try to log in and they put in the welcome password, they're asked to change their password to something that is more private. And it takes them to this form for them to do that. Now that their password has been updated, the updates will show here the moment you click away. And now this is showing the password that they have in the system. And now this is the only password that they can use to log in. And problem solved. So now I'm gonna show you the codes that I use to achieve this goal. So first, we're looking at the code for text username, and the only code it has is on the unlost focus. Let's take a look. So this is it right here. Introduce an integer that is used to do the counts, and these are the D lookups that are used to put several values in the login form, and these are the rest of the code. So this is the code also for the before updates for text password. So this is text password right here, and it has two codes, a before update and an after update code. So this is the before update for text password. This is the after update for text password. Wherever message box is mentioned, it is also declared at the top as an integer. Lastly is the code for the command button, command login. So this is the code for command login. So to make sure that um, this system, the login form, um, pays attention to lowercase and uppercase, you need to make sure that here you have option compare binary. Option explicit is what helps you declare your variables. Option compare binary instructs the system to pay attention to uppercase and lowercase. So now I get back to this, and to kind of clean it up a little bit, I'm gonna grab those text boxes and change their visibility to no, and save. And now when you open, your login form looks like the normal login form. So this video follows two previous videos, the lookup made easy and login screen that clears password afterwards. I think watching those videos might help you follow along nicely. Have a wonderful day and thank you.